Welcome to another edition of Tech Talks with wonderful Jeremy Hyman and myself, Rob Brown, host of the Accounting Influencers podcast. We have these chats every now and again, don't we, Jeremy, to talk about what's happening, what's working, what isn't in the world of technology and professional firms.
We do. It's always a pleasure, Rob. How are you?
We're doing splendid. It's great to talk to you. And Jeremy, we pick topics in advance that catch your eye or that your clients are talking to you about. And what's on your mind this week?
I've been pondering something that isn't really my remit, but keeps coming up again and again in my conversations, which is training. Everyone rolls their eyes a bit when you talk about training, including me. But I think it's probably worth a bit of a discussion, because I think that ignorance is no longer bliss is sort of my theme for this chat.
I know you're referring to technical training, technological training, soft skills training, or you're putting it all under that same umbrella?
I had been thinking about technology training, but in fact, talking about soft skills training is also quite apt. I suppose that the profession for too long has said that training means professional learning and development, right? So my kind of CPD, have I qualified, have I done this and have I done that?
CPE for our friends in the United States, continued professional education or development. But the concept is you need to stay current.
Right, and that's the bedrock of your professional competency, which I completely understand.
Yeah.
But really, I'm seeing some very basic skills missing in the people that I talk to. Basic skills about like how to share a document with a link, how to collaborate on a document, how to, think about some of the rules that should be applied to etiquette in email. And it's not like they haven't been trained, or it's not like that these ought to be mysterious items. And I'm beginning to wonder if there is, rather than training being the issue or a lack of training, whether there is an unwillingness to learn, which is an interesting thought.
That is a fascinating thought, because if you look at the standard accounting professional or legal professional, they have qualifications coming out of their ears. We know they've studied hard, and these professional qualifications are tough to pass. So they've got that capacity to learn. Is it perhaps that they stop learning, or that learning's not offered to them anymore?
I think the learning's offered. I think it is perhaps sometimes a professional arrogance, right? This isn't for me, I don't need to know about it, and therefore I refuse to learn about it.
Right.
And sometimes it is a genuine, people are too busy to pick it up, but these are core skills. I think what's happening is that which was viewed as a specialized computer technological skill has now become mainstream, but the audience haven't quite caught up with that mainstream shift. And therefore they think they don't need to learn about it, but really they do. If you hired a tax consultant and they said, I'm a great tax consultant, but I'm a numerate, I don't know how to use a calculator, then you wouldn't hire them. And I think what's happening is that as the wave of IT permeates a professional firm, things which was acceptable to not know about in the past, now it's no longer acceptable. And therefore I don't think it's so much the training, but the trainee that is perhaps the issue.
And what responsibility, if any, do you feel the regulatory bodies have in this, the professional associations and institutes, or is it down to the firm or even the individual?
I think it's a commercial matter. I think it's a commercial decision. I think if I'm a managing partner and I've spent six-figure sums on technology to move the firm forward, and I've spent hefty amounts of money on training programs and all of those things, and the remaining block is a group of people within my firm who are unwilling to learn, then they're causing me to lose money. They're causing me to not be uniform in my approach and not be efficient. And it's a commercial problem. I don't think it's a regulatory problem. I think it's a commercial challenge.
And although the heartland for Jeremy Hyman Associates is the technology side of what professional firms are doing, you've told me many times that you increasingly come up against culture and people development in making the technology work.
Yeah, well, technology is getting better and better, and users are perhaps getting worse and worse. I think that might be a bit of a sad observation. And so, our job often is to help with that adoption and the communications that go with change. Accountants are not built for change, and change is necessary for things to move forward. So we spend a lot of time doing that. I think also as well, there's another element to the communication, which is giving the IT team confidence to communicate properly. To get themselves out of that bunker mentality where they lob out new bits of technology and then quickly scuttle away again, but to be a bit proud and say, no, we've done this, and we've done it for you, and here's why, here's how to use it, here's how it's going to help you in your job. They've got to come to the party as well.
Yeah, that's very good. And in closing, Jeremy, what advice would you give to the leaders in professional firms that want to engender this culture of continued professional development and really encourage the people to take responsibility for learning these key skills?
Honestly, they should be leading from the front. So they should be using the technology themselves when they communicate to their partner groups, to their boards, to their senior management team, and say, if I can do it, so can you.
That's brilliant. That's a hard-hitting message, hopefully, that will be taken on board by these professional firms. And if they can't or won't do it, they need to seek you out, Jeremy. And you'll
I fear so. I will come round and explain what has to be done. Yeah, absolutely.
That's brilliant. Thanks once more, Jeremy, for your insights and your time today.
Lovely. Thank you, Rob.